It's in the name.
Welcome into the Friday Refresh. It's brought to you by Howell Wealth Management. Financial security is something many of us strive to achieve in our lives. Whether you are concerned for your own financial needs or those of your family or your business, Greg Howell can help you with a plan to get on the road to financial security. Contact Greg Howell today at 931-638-1576 or email him at gregory.a.howell@nm.com. I've always loved board games. Growing up, Clue was one of my favorites. I liked a challenge and I liked a mystery. Maybe that was from being raised watching Scooby-Doo, Rescue Rangers, and MacGyver, and plenty of other shows along the way. But anyway, back to the board games. Clue was great. Monopoly was fun, but it was a little long. Trouble and Aggravation were two that were played a lot when I was a kid. Most of the games we played, as is the case with games in general, took a lot of strategy. Of course, that varies from game to game and the number of opponents, but it's not much of a game if it doesn't call for at least a little bit of strategy. Checkers always had plenty of it for me when I was a kid, and as we have raised our own 5 kids, we have on more than one occasion found ourselves gathered around the large, scratched and marked up dining room table for a game of one of the above that I grew up with playing. In addition to the quote unquote board games, we've often found ourselves playing Uno or one of its many variations, or spoons or nerds. Again, all of them take some strategy. My kids have even had a class at school that's on various board games and group games called Game Changers they come home talking about. All that to say, recently my son wanted to play chess. He doesn't know this about my personality, but once I try something, I have to try hard to avoid being sucked into the black hole of whatever that thing is. I'm the person who watches a movie based on a true story and ends up researching the real story for the rest of the night. And I'm the same way with games. Once I start playing, I have to figure it out, and I spend lots of time, maybe some time that would be better spent elsewhere, on figuring it out. Now, after my son's introducing chess to me, I downloaded an app to play it, and during every psychological break I get, I play it now. But what I'm learning through all of this is that chess is a lot like life. Maybe that is why it draws a lot of people to it, as has done for centuries. Certain precursors to the game have been around since 200 BC in China. That particular legend states that a general invented it as a battle simulator before it was forgotten for centuries and then resurfaced in the 7th century and then became the modern game we know of today. There are a lot of other origin stories, but the only thing for sure is that it's been around for thousands of years. And yep, I got sucked into that black hole again. Anyway, when it's done correctly, it can be a long game. It comes with a lot of planning that's involved. Casual games can take from 10 to 60 minutes to play. Tournament games can range from 10 minutes to 6 hours. So what's the point? I want you to remember 2 things that seem to reflect real life in the game of chess. 1, don't be held back by your limitations. While you may see your weaknesses, which is what I started out doing with the game of chess, you still have something amazing to bring to the table. There are various moves allowed for different pieces in chess. One strength is another weakness. Pawns, to me, at first seemed a little pointless and unhelpful, but later I learned that they actually can be extremely beneficial to the strategy and provide some great attacking strategies. It is easy to see our weaknesses, but spend less time focusing on the negatives and spend more time searching out the ways to make a difference. Second of all, every move has a consequence. That's not just true for the moment, but long into the future of that particular game of chess. Our actions also come with consequences. It might be things that we will face immediately, or it could be things that come up well into the future. Stop and ask yourself, what would my future self say to me about whatever particular move or action I'm contemplating? It's not fully fail-proof, but it will hopefully get you to think a little deeper about your decisions. Every day is a battle. The enemy is attempting to counter your actions with actions of his own to discredit and slow you down. Don't let him hold you back with lies about limitations. Use the gifts God gave you. Slow down. Think of the consequences of what you were considering. Your future self will thank you. And that is your Friday Refresh.